Thank you for coming. We're going to be doing a reading today. It's a story written by someone I've never met called Deviant Diction. What? You know what I'm talking about. We're in the wrong place. In the beginning, as in starting point, like before the rest or next of it. Quite a confusing introduction. I hope you're not perplexed. Let's just rest a bit. Relax as I pull you back to a time where rhyme reigns sublime and remain practiced by every king and adversary, and people name themselves after their vocabulary. Although their talents vary, their ballads carry the commentary, reflections of their environment, of course, sharing a connection within their village, creating a force no one could resist it, as long as it continued to mimic their living patterns and their existence. Rhymes reflect life, rhymes reflect life, rhymes reflect life. Enter our hero, called himself Diction, had a way with the rhythm and amazed those who gazed and laid their ears on his spoken phrase. His array of flows would gain praise and accolades. Folks cheered whenever he stepped to the stage in anticipation of the way he'd say what he'd say, uninhibited in his approach. The style was and is truly free.
This girl was dogging, different yet just as gifted and committed. Considered herself a misfit, viewed rhymes as mystic, and knew to use the power within it. She had to carefully choose the words she ripped with. Began to incorporate her own terms in order to relate to a world. The slang she created would better illustrate her mind state. To comprehend her thoughts, she needed to translate.
Which brings us to the antagonist, son of the chief. He goes by the name of Discourse. The man had a hell filled with grandiose ideas about communication, pertaining to how and what the villagers were saying. He believed in restraint and also thought that the new school youth were slaying the roots of stylized orating. In other words, he felt rules had to be created to contain and separate the old way of speech into the secular and the elite for the protection of the powers that be, namely he, Discourse, and a collection of other mediocre mediators and innovative direction deviators, cowardly control freaks with no needs, only wants and no sympathy. Let's return to Diction in the garden with jargon, passing raps back and forth like cards with the botanical grounds royal guards, the local vocal sparring partners, cleverly commenting on how if the lawmakers envision themselves containing rhymes saying, then it's just a mirage. Ooh, these words were overheard by the ever irritable Discourse, and you could tell by his twitching eye. This time my man, he was pissed off. He decided to have Diction banished on the grounds that the family name had been brandished, which in the future could do some extensive psychological damage, so he claimed. But things stayed the same, for Discourse was not the chief and held no clout. The call soldiers to take villages out. Yes, this did wonders for his grief and his ego, which led Discourse to believe that his own communication envy. Well, I'll say it this way: if it's a container to be filled, then his was empty. Envy spawned from jealousy on its way to hate, became the perfect ingredients for Discourse's three-layered revenge-flavored cake. Insane, he just kept repeating this. Jargon and diction will leave or see their wake. I can't conceive of being defeated. The competition must cease if I'm to get any peace. The remedy is me, and so the invitation went. Come to the verbal bludgeoning, win something to be discovered, and it was sent. They met in the garden by the daffodils, and to wrap it up a chill tent. A little hesitant, but unaware of the set, Jargon stepped up to the mic. Diction encouraged Jargon to recite. Discourse forced to set off the mic's detonation device. While the rhymes reflected life, Jargon kept rocking hard with an odd vocab barrage. See, she was nice. Diction thought Discourse was prime for the picking and began kicking non-fiction about the current conditions. People listen to Diction and flow source and began booing and hissing and pitching litter at Discourse, who felt forced to leave, but not before pulling the button from his sleeve. He pushed it, the bomb went off, but people just thought it was part of the pyrotechnics. And they just kept on rocking, and they just kept on rocking, and they just kept on rocking. Got to move it to the whole damn part. The end. Hey, am I getting paid for this?